you're on set and it's showtime. So what does the stylist do when he or she is on set? When you're on set, your job includes the following. 1. Keeping up with all of the garments and organizing your garment rack, and organizing your accessories and shoes. 2. Keeping track of all the tags. Super important. 3. Doing last looks and making sure that the look is perfect on the model in between each section of the shoot. 4. Dressing and undressing the model. 5. Being prepared to change your planned looks upon request. And finally, number 6. Protecting the clothing while the model is wearing them and keeping them from any type of damage or tarnish. Now, I listed these items very generally, so there are some nuances here and there that you may be required to do while you're on set, but these are the primary things. If you're on the shoot and you're alone, meaning you have no other assistant, you're taking care of all of these things. If you are lucky enough to have an assistant, or you are the assistant, you also are keeping all of these items in mind. So let's break down a few of them. One huge component of being on set is managing the wardrobe area. So a few things to help you move super efficiently and smoothly when you're on set are keeping the wardrobe area organized and always having the very next look prepared. So when I'm on set, I have my garment rack, and I have, if there are multiple models or multiple characters in the shoot, then I have it sectioned off by character, by model. So the first model's look is here, the second model's look is here, and so on and so forth, so that I can easily run back and forth to that person's section when I need to change their look. This is super important because just like my mentor would tell me all the time, shout out to Pamela Shepherd Hill, hey Pam, she always would tell me when we would be on set together, I never want anyone waiting on wardrobe, except if we're just changing the looks from one to another. I definitely tell my assistant the same thing. There are so many moving components, especially for much larger productions and larger shoots, and if you can help it, you don't want anyone waiting on wardrobe to get started. You can only really do that if the area is organized and clean. It also helps you prevent losing anything. Sometimes you can have so many items on set and it can be overwhelming, and you really don't want to misplace like a $500 pair of earrings or something because you didn't keep it organized.
Here's an example of how I laid out the jewelry when I assisted the fashion editors for an Elle China magazine shoot. As you can see, every single piece in here is from Chanel, so I was not about to lose these pieces. I laid out each piece so that every single item was visible. Whenever we used one item on set, I knew exactly what was being used, and I knew exactly where to put it back for future use. And when it came to cleaning up the set, I was able to easily account for every single piece because this picture served as a roadmap. I also meant to mention that whenever you are setting up your wardrobe area, right after unpacking all of the clothes onto the clothing rack, the very first thing you're going to do is steam every piece, even the pieces you're not sure if you're going to use, because you may need to use them later. You lay out your shoes and lay out your jewelry as well.
A part of being organized also includes managing and keeping track of the tags. So sometimes you pop the tags on the clothes and sometimes you don't. It depends on if you can see it or not. But in most cases, I have to when I'm popping the tags off of a shirt when there's a tag hanging here or something. Like, you kind of just have to roll with it. So my assistant and I always keep an envelope that houses all of the tags that we popped off of the garments, because you definitely don't want to lose them, because a lot of times stores require that you keep the tags attached to return them. And you don't want to have that hold you back from making a return and getting your refund. Another part of keeping organized on set is having the very next look prepared. Once the model is in one look and the photographer is shooting the model, either I or my assistant will go back to our wardrobe area and have the very next look prepared. So that means making sure all the shoes are unbuckled, the shirt is unbuttoned, the jeans are unzipped, so that whenever it's time to change it to that next look, remember, we don't want anyone waiting on wardrobe, so I'm gonna have that very next look prepared. That's just another huge component when it comes to running your photo shoot smoothly and efficiently. Now down to the last thing when you're on set is making sure that all of your clothes stay in resellable condition. That way you can return them and the store can resell them. So in my kit, I have a face net, for instance, that I can put over the model's head while I'm changing the clothes. That way, the model's makeup does not rub off on the clothes and it gets on the face net instead, and I'm able to make sure that my clothes stay pristine. And I also use things like underarm guards, and I use clamps that have rubber endings. That way the clothing doesn't have holes in it from pins. You know, there's lots of little things like that that a fashion stylist is keeping in mind to make sure that the clothing stays in resellable condition. And that is a great segue into returning the clothes. Off to do returns.
And that concludes part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Part 3 is going to be all about how to do returns. So make sure you go ahead and hit that notification button to know when that video is coming out. Until next time, style well, live well, be brave. Peace.